this report is in your this is just the budget I was bringing.
All right, so I can get out. No rush. I can grab it later.
I don't know.
And then don't stop hitting it.
Just try not to move Bell.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a meeting of the Council of the City of Long Beach held Tuesday, July 7th at 7 p.m. We'll have a roll call. Councilmember Johnson.
Present.
Councilmember Ennis.
Here.
Councilmember Reinhardt.
Here.
Vice President Fiumara.
Here.
President Finn.
Here.
Let the record indicate the presence of City Manager Dan Creighton and Corporation Counsel Greg Kalnitsky. We will now have a salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, new flag, very nice. Very nice new flag we have. Thank you. I think the city did very well. We'll get right to the city manager's report.
Okay, thank you, Brendan. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out again tonight. On Monday, June 22nd, we held the city's first public input session for the Bayfront redevelopment planning study. More than 100 residents came out to share their thoughts, which was a great turnout. Please keep an eye out on our website and social media platforms, as later this week we will be launching an online survey and website dedicated to the project. We have a once-in-a-generation opportunity on the Bayfront. It will only succeed with robust community input, so please spread the word so the input can be received to make sure we get it right. On a different note, we are aware that several residences are having issues with their tax bills. As everyone is aware, this council approved the resolution last. However, we are still hearing that people are still having issues with this. If you are having issues, please reach out to the City Comptroller's office at 431-1004. We are looking into the reasons for why this is happening, but we are actively working with the vendor that sends out the bills to figure out where the miscommunication happened. But we are trying to resolve it. Remember, if your bill is over $8,000 for the city portion, it still will be billed as one tax bill. So going back to our next free summer concert is this Thursday on Lincoln Boulevard Beach. All are invited to come to the 7 p.m. performance of Cold Spring Harbor Band as they pay tribute to Long Island's own Billy Joel. Don't forget the beach chair. It should be a great night. This Friday at dark will be the city's fireworks display in honor of the nation's 250th birthday. The display will be visible from anywhere along the boardwalk or shoreline, so head down to your favorite beach and enjoy the show. The rain date is Saturday the 11th if needed, so keep an eye on the city's website and social media as we get closer to Friday, as so far the weather is questionable for Friday. The city's Arts and Crafts Boardwalk Festival is this weekend. It is on the boardwalk from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. both Saturday and Sunday, and features over 200 and all the artists and sponsors. The project has really been well received and adds a great touch to our boardwalk and beach. Again, thank you to all who were involved in making it a reality, especially our incredibly talented local artists. Thank you again. Really appreciate it. They look really great.
They do.
Lastly, I know many are eager to get the final numbers on the 25-26 beach season. The fiscal year closed out last Tuesday, so we are preparing to give a summary at our next meeting on the 21st of this month. There are some big agenda items today, so I'll keep the discussion for those agenda items when they come up. And with that, I will conclude my city manager's report and hand it back to you, Brendan.
All right, thank you very much, Dan. And let's proceed with the agenda. Carrie, please.
Item number 1 is a resolution to adopt an updated drug and alcohol-free workplace policy.
Okay, so the Federal Transit Administration is undergoing its triennial review of the city's transportation department programs. This audit reviews our adherence to federal requirements as well as our policies and procedures. As part of this review, the FTA suggested edits to our drug and alcohol-free workplace policy. This item would adopt a new drug and alcohol-free workplace policy based on the FTA's suggestions. The change.
Okay. Begin with questions on this?
No question about the Mike does?
Mike?
Just a comment, just piggybacking on what Dan said, these kinds of new adoptions and updating some policies are essential if we want grants from the FTA, and we do rely on these grants. Just a quick stat, 90% of all our vehicles are paid for using FTA grants. So these are one of the things that we have to do to make sure we are in good standing to receive these monies. Just wanted to point that out.
The changes themselves are very minor, and it's all driven by the FTA. It basically says if you violate the policy, it's a term and condition of employment. And there was another change that added the sale, manufacture, distribution of controlled substances in addition to its use. So really, it's things that have always been the case, just they wanted it in the policy.
Thanks.
Any other comments? Just my own comment is it is pretty straightforward, and as you said, the changes aren't dramatic, but they are certainly necessary, and it's important for us, for the city. Okay, then we'll move on to item number 2.
Item 2 is a resolution authorizing a transfer of funds for the 2026-2027 fiscal year.
Okay, so this item would allow for the transfer of funds to support a reassignment of personnel from the Department of Public Works to the Recreation Department. Some efficiencies or improvement in operations have been implemented, and some have been reversed since preparing the budget. This transfer ensures the budget accurately reflects the reality of our operations at this time. I can field any questions the council may have on this item.
Okay. Questions?
No, pretty straightforward.
What Dan said, exactly, just money is being sent back to its original location.
Yep.
We'll go to the next one then, please.
Item number 3 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to accept a charitable donation.
Okay, so Scoot and Surf has generously offered to donate a total of 8 rescue boards to our lifeguard patrol. These boards are used daily by the patrol and are a vital part of their rescue operations. Total value of the 8 boards is approximately $4,300. I would like to personally thank the Scootans for their ongoing legacy of generosity to the lifeguard patrol and the city at large. I have myself or Chief Borowski here to answer any questions the council may have.
Rich, if you could just a short explanation or whatever you want to say, short statement.
I can't thank Scoot and Surf immensely for the donation of the surfboards. They definitely come in handy. We do use our surfboards, the 10-foot boards on rescues at certain times. Scoot and Surf everybody knows how generous they are to the community, and they're being so generous to us as a lifeguard patrol.
I agree. Anybody on the council?
Well, I would just echo what Chief has said. I think just sitting up on here on the council for a couple years, there's been many times that we have thanked Scooten for their generous donation. So just another example. Thank you.
I'll echo that. Thank you to the students. Thank you very much, not just for the surfboards, for what you do and what you provide.
I just want to say thank you to the students as well. Much appreciated.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say the same as everybody else. Thank you.
All right.
Well, I
Thank you
better
very
say
much.
thank you then.
All right. Thank you, Rich. And thank you, students. Appreciate
You look
it.
good on TV. You look good on TV the other day.
Every time, not just the other day, every time on TV. Move on to number 4, please.
Item number 4 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for Phase 2 of the water main replacement project.
Okay, so our Department of Public Works is looking to initiate Phase 2 of the Walks Water Main Replacement Project this fall. As a reminder, the water mains under the walks run parallel and in close proximity to the sewer mains, creating which is less than creating less than ideal infrastructure. This project will cover the area of the walks between Grand and Lindell from park to beach. and involves running new water mains and service lines, replacing the walks with decorative pavers, and installing new colonial lighting. Thomas Novelli Contracting was the lowest of 4 bidders for this work, with an estimated total of approximately $5.7 million. Funding for this project exists in the capital budget. Novelli was the contractor for Phase 1 of the project between New York and Grand, which was well received by the residents of the area. I have Commissioner Arnold here to answer any questions you may have.
I'll just begin by saying, speak for myself, I live very close to the walks, and Phase 1, to me, to my eye, and I walk around those walks quite a bit with my dog chasing squirrels. I think that they did a great job, and I think it's going to be a great second round. But do we have questions from the council?
You have a question.
Okay, George.
What's the approximate cost compared to the first phase, phase 2?
First phase was about $5.4 million, so this is about $300,000 higher.
Okay.
Anyone else?
I would just say I was very happy that Novelli won this bid for the second phase, because from all reports, and you tell me if you heard differently, it's been very positive. They've been very responsive to the public. Any issues, they seem to have been very active with communication. Is that what you found in the first phase?
Yes, and that's also why we brought D&B back on as the project manager. So we have the same team, consultant and contracting team, as Phase 1.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Do you have a ballpark end date,
Phase 1 was done between Labor Day and Memorial Day. That would be the goal of this project, as long as the weather cooperates. If we get a winter like last year, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, right.
We had a perfect winter when we did Phase 1, so we're hoping to do the same in Phase 2.
Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you, Ken. Let's move on to number 5, please.
Item 5 is a resolution authorizing an amendment to a previously adopted resolution.
So this item simply amends the budget line that will outlay the money for the paving component of the pedestrian safety improvement project currently taking place around City Hall and the Long Island Railroad. This project was already approved by the council. This resolution just more appropriately charges the budget lines for a portion of the work from road overlays to curbs and sidewalks. These expenditures are expected to be fully reimbursed by CDBG funds. Again, Commissioner Arnold is here if you have any further questions.
Questions or comments on the council? No? No? I think we're fine. All right. Thank you. We'll go to item number 6, please.
Item number 6 is a resolution authorizing budget amendments to the fiscal year 2026 and fiscal year 2027 general fund budgets to provide funding for the collective bargaining agreement with the Long Beach Professional Firefighters Association, Local 287.
Kerry, can you read item 7 as well?
Sure. Item 7 is also a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a collective bargaining agreement with Local 287 of the Uniformed Firefighters Association, AFL-CIO, IAFF, Long Beach, New York.
Okay, so I'm calling items 6 and 7 together, as item 6 is the execution of a proposed collective bargaining agreement with the Long Beach Professional Firefighters Association, IAFF Local 287, and item 7 is the associated budget amendments covering the costs of said agreement. Long Beach Professional Firefighters Association has been without a contract for 16 years. Yes, that's correct, 16 years. While some administrations actively work to do away with the unit, this administration believes them to be an imperative part of the community as densely developed as ours. Because we value our unions and first responders, getting this agreement done has been a top priority over the past 2.5 years. Negotiations have been lengthy and sometimes difficult, but I want to thank the union, its leadership, and my team for putting in the work needed to deliver what I think is a fair contract for both the union and our residents. There are a lot of particulars to the contract, but in summary, this is a 4-year agreement providing the firefighters with an initial adjustment in salary and 2% salary increases each year of the agreement. Again, I thank the union and its leadership for helping us get here. After 16 years, I am extremely proud that this administration and the union has been able to negotiate a deal that is a win for both sides. I don't know, Greg, is there anything else you'd like to add on this?
No, I would just say that, we've had the chance to discuss this with the council in meetings with me. Since this is not a ratified collective bargaining agreement yet, and it's not a done deal, there's a specific carve-out for calling for an executive session. If the council should have any additional questions about the contract, I would just ask that we go into executive session so I could address them.
Okay, thank you. I will just make a statement and not ask a question. It's been certainly very at the top of our agenda as a council previously, starting in '24 through '25, and here we are in '26 with a new council. We wanted this to happen. We saw that it was really obviously way overdue, and as a result, I applaud Dan Creighton's, I will call them Herculean efforts to bring this over the finish line. We have a corporation counsel right now, Greg Kalnitsky, who has been great assistance, but we went through 2 corporation counsels before that. So Dan, I appreciate what you've done, and I have to say I appreciate the union representatives who worked on this and negotiated with Dan. I appreciate the time and effort you put in, as well as the rank and file. So that's just my statement, me personally. Does anybody else would like to say something?
I just
George?
like to, oh, I'm sorry. I'd like to commend both sides for working so hard together to get this done. I think it's an amazing accomplishment, and I'm looking forward to the next 4 years, and hopefully it'll continue to be a great working relationship. So, great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, same, and I think it lends itself to, when 4 years is up, to having, I'm hoping, much smoother negotiations than we've had the last 16 years. So if we can cut those 16 years off and keep this relationship going, I think it's going to be a great thing moving forward. So I commend everybody who was responsible for working on this. So thank you. Thank you, guys.
Mike?
Yeah, it's 16 years in the making. 16 years too long. I looked in the eyes of a lot of you guys and girls in the back, and I said, we're going to get this done. As Brendan said, this was the top of our agenda since we got in, to be honest. We've been talking about it. We knew it wasn't going to be easy, and it wasn't. But at the end result, it's good for the FD, it's good for the city, everybody's protected, and we got the contract, and we couldn't be more thrilled. So, thank you.
Yeah, I guess everybody kind of said already the obvious. 16 years is way too long to work without a contract. I speak to some of you, outside of this room and in social settings, and I'm happy to see how happy everybody is. So, for everybody who was involved, I know it was sometimes tough, but we got here, and I want to thank both sides for making it happen.
All right. And with that, we'll move on to item number 8, please.
Item number 8 is a resolution authorizing city to extend an employment contract.
So this is an approval of a 2-year extension of my employment contract with city to continue to serve as city manager through January 2nd of '28. It has been my absolute honor to serve the residents of the place I call home for the past 2.5 years. I believe we have made progress fiscally, operationally, are beginning to return our infrastructure to a state of good repair. That being said, I know we have a lot left to do, and I could not be more excited to continue to make progress along with this council and our very talented and dedicated workforce. I am happy to answer any questions from the council, but will remind everyone specifics or for executive session. Greg, right?
Yep.
I'll speak for myself right now, but I have to say that I'm so impressed with the work effort that Dan Creighton has brought to this office, the amount of work he has done and the accomplishments he's made. I think very laudable. I'm so proud to be associated with this council and with Dan working for the city. I think that it's a contract that is well deserved. He works hard, and not only does he work hard, but he achieves results. So that's my personal statement about it. Shall we go from the end? Do you have anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'll do your words exactly. I can't add much more than that. You've worked with Dan longer than I have, but Dan is always accessible, always, whenever I have a question for him, and I have quite a few, as you know. So, thank you for that, and keep up the good work.
Since I've been on the council, Dan's always been fully accessible. He's hardworking. He is has his hands in everything with the city, and it's just tremendous to be able to work with him, so thank you.
I hate to give Dan so many compliments in front of so many people, but they're well deserved. He's a guy you can call with anything. He's always there. He works, I mean, endlessly. This guy vacations. He's calling. God, he was calling us from Galapagos this week. So
From another hemisphere.
almost wish sometimes he would take a break, but it's been great, and I appreciate your work. Thank you.
Yeah, I would say, see the previous agenda item. 16 years, as us as the council, that was a major initiative for us, but we need somebody to, pull that lever and get in and start doing it with us. And Dan's been the man to get it done. So, Dan the man.
All right. Okay, we'll move on to item number 9, please.
Item 9 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement for citywide exterminating services.
This item would allow the city to enter into an agreement with Healthy Home Pest Control to provide pest management services for our various city facilities. The annual cost for the services would be $13,280, plus the cost associated with any emergency or special services that may be required. Funding for this service is included in each department's contracted services budget line. Our Director of Procurement, Samantha Burkhardt, is here if the council has any further questions on this item. Thank you, Samantha.
Is this your first time speaking, Samantha, or you have before, right? You've been up before with us, right?
I was up once, but I didn't have to say anything.
Okay, well, now you will. But thank you, and welcome to Long Beach and working with us. I know you've done a great job so far. So I only have a couple of minor questions. That this is a long-term, we've had a long-term relationship with this.
We have used them in the past, and everyone has been very happy with their services.
You'll have to move up to the mic, or they're going to start yelling.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm also too
Yeah,
short.
welcome to Long Beach again. Okay. Here we go.
Sorry.
And just
I'm-
drop it at the end.
Yes, we have used them in the past, and everyone that I've spoken to has been very happy with their services.
Okay, do we have any other questions from the council? I'm the only one who made you speak. Well, all right. Thank you. I just was interested if this was, this is someone for quite a while that we've been dealing with, and good results.
Previously, we were using another service. They were on a different contract. We put an RFQ out for this, and they're ones that we chose.
Okay, great.
Actually, real quick, just to clarify, though, these are city-owned buildings, correct? Only city-owned buildings with?
Correct.
For this contract, right? Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll go to number 10, please.
Item 10 is a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with various firms for on-call engineering and architectural services.
Okay, so quite often our Department of Public Works requires engineering and architectural services that are beyond the capacity of their department. To secure these services, they need to go out to bid, often delaying implementation of important projects. In order to improve efficiencies in operations, we have solicited bids for on-call engineering and architectural services. 18 bids were received and 10 were approved by the Technical Selection Committee. If approved, this item would pre-qualify these firms to work with the department on projects that meet their specific skill sets. Each project would still need to follow the city's procurement process, including getting council approval for any project in excess of $35,000. However, having firms pre-approved could result in savings of 3 to 4 months in implementation of the projects. Remember, these are professional services contracts that do not require low bid. They require best services or most qualified services. So this allows us to pre-qualify them for certain areas, and then when that work comes out, we can award the projects at that time. I have Commissioner Arnold here to speak further on this item if the council has any questions.
Have any questions?
I do.
You don't?
I do.
So Ken, besides the fact that we're establishing a list of qualified vendors to take this on, the main goal is to save 3 to 4 months?
That is correct. Currently, anytime we do an open solicitation, We receive numerous proposals that have to be reviewed, scored, evaluated, then we have to put agreements together and come to you for approval. This pushes the pre-file qualification, and the agreement process is already completed, so we'll be looking at cost proposals and scope of work, which will cut the time frame down.
And most of these firms we've worked with.
Yes, all these firms we've dealt with over the years, and in my first year here, they've all done work for us.
Great, thank you.
Chris? Kent, could you just provide a very brief description of or explanation of the process, how this was accomplished, this list?
So this, just like any open solicitation, we advertise this in the contract reporter and in the local paper and on the website. 18 proposals came in. The review committee ranked the proposals by three areas of work: civil engineering, mechanical, electrical, plumbing engineering, and then architectural services. So we selected 6 firms for each one of these areas of work. Moving forward, when we have a project that fits one of those areas, those 6 firms will receive a mini bid proposal where they will put that together their cost proposal based on an approved billable rate. That's part of the contract that we're approving today. And also they'll give us some scope of work. The only time the department anticipates putting out an open solicitation moving forward would be probably a grant-related project where there's requirements that are in an agreement with the consultants that this on-call will not currently have.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. That's it, we're good. Okay. That's it? Okay. So we will open this up to the public. All right, we'll begin with Eileen.
Thank you, Eileen Hessian.
Hi.
I've noticed that even though people read the agenda in advance, they very seldom read the backup documents. And what I saw, well, first of all, let me hand this out. Would you mind handing this out? I have enough for the city council. Thank you. And for the audience, what I'm handing out is a list of executive salaries, including the mayor of New York, the governor of New York, the governor of Pennsylvania, governor of California, the attorney general, the New York State comptroller, and the governor of Florida. Our city manager makes approximately the same as all of those people. Those other people are serving between 8 and 40 million people. Our population is about 35,000. These numbers I know are not exact to today because there were other raises put in for the city manager. He also makes more than 48 out of 50 state governors. And if you compare in Long Island, he's making more than them. Great Neck, which has a similar population to us, the mayor makes 65,000. In Glen Cove, similar population, he makes 100,000. Our city manager makes 240 or so. When I looked at the backup documents, what I found is in your new contract, it mentions getting, I'll quote it, "The employer shall continue to provide health coverage for the lifetime of the city manager and his dependents." Sir, you've only been here 2.5 years. To get lifetime benefits means that if you quit tomorrow, you could walk away with a lifetime of medical benefits for yourself and your family. That means that we are stuck with a lifetime of taxes, not only for you, but probably for the next city manager who comes in, because it will be setting a precedent. It will cost us throughout our lifetime. The backup documents, I don't know. There are other things in there, but I think that's the most important. You're an exempt employee. It says in the personnel code that exempt employees pay 10% of their health insurance, and it has no mention of anything for a lifetime. And I beg you to take this off because it is a very, very bad precedent to set a lifetime contract for health. Thank you very much.
I'll say this. The people in New York City would be lucky to have him running the city right now.
I'm
'cause
sure
I wouldn't
they
wanna
would,
be in
but
that
you know,
city.
these guys-
So, no, I'm answering you.
Go ahead.
You spoke, now I'm answering you, right? I think the people of almost any of these other places would be lucky to have this guy working there. But regardless of that, someone that you know very well one time said that you have to get good people, you have to pay good money to get good people here. And he was on this council last year. And guess what? We agree with him, right? You pay for what you get, and you get what you pay for. And we all know that. And we know that he's not getting paid very much more than the previous city manager. And I'm not really speaking about Ron Walsh right now. I'm speaking about managers before Ron Walsh. And I would say that in a short time, he's accomplished quite a bit more than many of those city managers put together. But regardless of that, what has to happen is, it's not a precedent, it's what the council chose to do. We're not setting a precedent. It's only a precedent if someone follows it, correct? What we're doing is, I would say, providing a just compensation to a person who has done a very good job for the city, will continue to do a very good job for the city, and the fact that if he quit tomorrow, he would get that health care is not necessarily true. The other side of that coin is, if he goes back to the private sector, Long Beach loses someone very valuable, and I personally feel, and I'm only speaking for myself, but I think the council feels the same way, that this is worth the compensation. So thank you for what you had to say, and I appreciate it.
All right, I still have a few minutes. I know that you were with the MTA for very many years, and I'm sure they have a health care that you already have. So I don't know why our tax dollars have to go to more health insurance for you.
I can answer that. Yeah, I get health benefits from MTA if I go back and retire from MTA. So I can leave here and go back to MTA and get health benefits, but I would have to leave rather than stay here. I think the council has wanted me to stay here, and my only option to keep lifetime benefits with the significant health concerns that I have I would need health benefits, and I can leave and go back to MTA and get those health benefits. You're correct.
I had nothing to say about the work that you've done here. Our taxes have gone up every single year.
That's not true.
The city taxes, not
No,
what I paid
that's not true.
necessarily.
Nope.
Didn't they go up $6 million
You got a
this
zero
year?
the first year.
Didn't they go up $6 million this year?
Excuse me?
They went up $6 million this year, I believe.
The taxes?
The taxes? $6 million?
For the city, not for me. Anyway, I totally
It's not
object
anyway. They
this.
didn't go up $6 million.
And also, when you said, that you think the council will agree with you that he's a great leader.
I think they will, but
I
we haven't
know
voted.
they will. I know they will, because no one has ever disagreed at this podium.
Not true.
Ever. Ever. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. It's a little bit more. Who's that? Well, you had your hand up next, so yes, come on up, please.
Daniel Lampard. To preface this, I do live in the Walks. I grew up in the Walks. So, one question first to start. Is it the same contractor that did Phase 1 that's doing Phase 2?
Yes.
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 Okay. Well, I think that we should really start searching for a different contractor. First off, I was at a committee meeting where some of you were present, contractors were present, and we talked about different problems to alleviate the parking problems that will come along with the project. And everyone knows that. We live in the Walks. Parking is always an issue there. It doesn't matter which city council you're on, Democrat, Republican. It's always an issue that we have to face in the Walks. And especially with this project, because streets are closed, and understandably so. But one thing that was suggested was that if they could launch from the mall rather than the parking lot, right? So the parking lot on Park Avenue, where the south side is resident permanent parking and the north side is public parking, and they launched from both. They left their equipment all over the place. They didn't put anything back in the lots. there were bobcats on the streets all weekend, just left there. And in terms of respect for the neighbors, they have none, the people who live there. And believe me when I tell you, I understand they have a very difficult task. The walks are a very difficult place to work to begin with, and I understand the city has the 5 feet egress in each direction on the properties. But to give you an example, I'd asked the guy to move his tools off my live hydrangea bushes on the corner of my property. It's the corner of Maywalk. And I was told, quote, I have 5 feet. That's not respectful to the neighbors. One of the people working with the contractors was even cutting pavers on my cobblestones instead of on a table at the end of the walk. And I have a picture of it as well. They had a bobcat in my driveway to get to my neighbor's water supply. And I'm speaking from personal experience. I can't speak to the rest of the walks per se. Well, I'm just giving you my personal experience with them.
Okay.
Either I didn't catch who it was, either National Grid or Novelli with the water connection dug a hole in my lawn. Neither one of them wanted to take credit for it. There are no surveys done of these properties before we started. I did not see anyone, and I'm sure you can understand that's definitely a liability, not having surveys done, especially when you're going to be damaging people's property. And believe me, I understand it's a difficult place to work, but I know you said they were the lowest bidder. Lowest maybe, responsible, definitely not.
All right, thank you. We'll take note of what you said. Mike? Mike Delury. I'll get you next. Mike Delury, I'll get you next. Sorry.
Good evening, members of the City Council. Mike Delury. I'm here. Well, first I want to thank Cliff Scooten and Scooten Surf for the donation of the rescue boards. Thank you. I'm speaking on behalf of the West Home and Walk Civic Association. We are happy to see that Thomas Novelli has been awarded the Phase 2 section of the Walk's water upgrade. Novelli and crew did an excellent job in Phase 1. They had excellent communication to the residents to keep residents informed. Their experience in working on Phase 1 will help in their scheduling and planning of Phase 2. Arthur Collins, who works for Novelli, went above and beyond and kept residents informed many times. I'm not going to go into detail of what he actually did. D&B Engineers did an excellent job as well. They're also on your approved architect contractor list as well, along with Cash and Engineering, both firms I know. However, there is one area that needs to be completed with Phase 1, which was the responsibility of National Grid and its subcontractor. I know some people are aware of the situation. It has to do with sidewalks at the ends of each walk need attention and resurfacing. I know the city's aware of it, but believe it's time for legal action to be taken. Possibly putting National Grid on notice that if the work does not commence in 30 days, the city will complete the job and bill them for the work. Lastly, the City of Long Beach Water Department went above and beyond as well. There were times when a water main break had occurred and they worked through the night to get it fixed. There were faulty fire hydrants that caused problems as well, and the water crew dealt with those issues as well. Finally, the permeable pavers are working great. The storm we had a few days ago normally would have had puddles a few inches deep, but there were no puddles from these recent and previous storms. So I have nothing, and I'm speaking on behalf of as the president of the West Home and Walk Civic Association, because we have monthly meetings, and most of the commentary, if there were concerns brought up, we addressed it to Novelli and/or D&B engineers, who were physically on site every day. So if certain people had certain issues that they had a problem with, their course should have been come to us as the West Holman Walks, and we will communicate it to the city. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mike. So I'll get you next. Yeah.
Good evening, council members. My name is Mike O'Donnell, 65 Georgia Avenue. I'm here tonight to ask for a meaningful action regarding the reoccurring sewer backup problem that has affected my home for years. Since 2020, I have been in contact with the Department of Sewers, for Long Beach, the building department, at least 5 documented scenarios with the police department going through their lines first.
Mike, I hate to interrupt you, but this public commentary right now is about all the resolutions that we went through. What you're speaking about is in good and welfare. Duly noted what you just said.
Okay.
But, and if you...
Oh, I thought we stepped into the good and welfare.
No, no.
Okay, my bad.
No, it's a new
I saw
format.
people walking on...
Yeah, it's a new format. So it's right now the commentary is about the 1 through 10 resolutions, and then we get the good and
go
welfare
back,
afterwards.
come back it a little bit?
Yeah, but we got the information though. So
Well, I'd like to keep going. Not now, but
Yeah.
I'll come back in a couple
Please do.
period
Yeah,
of time.
yeah.
Like,
Sorry about
let
that.
me- No, all right.
Okay, thank you.
We'll pick it up again.
Yes, okay. We'll revisit.
All right. But I will have an opportunity to talk in a little bit tonight.
Yes, you will.
Okay, great. Thank you.
He did.
Yeah.
Mr. Moons.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is John Moody. I am the CSEA Region 1 President. I want to thank the City Manager, the City Council, our Corporation Council. They've been fair to CSEA, they've been fair to PBA, and now I see they're being fair to UFA. So I want to let everybody know we thank you for that. And I would ask that everyone in the back please stand up if you're here for the UFA. I want to thank this council again, and let UFA, we stand in solidarity with you. Please vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Come on up.
It's a lady's turn. Good evening, council.
Good evening.
I'm here tonight. My name is Ruth Orellana. I
You just
have
might
been
want to
living
pick up
here-
the mic a little bit.
Oh, hi, sure.
Yeah, because they get very
Hi.
mad when they
Yeah,
can't
don't
hear
get
you.
mad now,
Yeah,
everybody
okay.
chill out. Okay, my name is Ruth Orellana. I have lived here in Long Beach for 49 years. I'm a drop over from the Rockaways. I am a mother, a wife, a nurse. Little Paulie Bradley, that was my patient. So he's always in my thoughts. I just want to tell you that unfortunately last year, on July 11th, my grandchildren were in a horrific car accident in the West End the night of the fireworks. I almost lost my 3 grandchildren and my son-in-law, but thank God that they're here. Thank you to these people that work here for us. I'm glad to hear that after 16 years that there is finally, hopefully, something coming about. We know life is not easy anymore in this world, but these guys, they saved my grandchildren, and just so you understand that one of your firemen had to come to rescue his brother and his nieces and nephew, and that was traumatic. And then let's talk about August 12th, where my boss is Jewish. I'm Jewish, excuse me, not to get into relationships here, but my boss is an Irish Catholic, okay? And he's as
I
cheap
thought you
as
said he was Jewish.
No, I'm the Jew.
Okay. All right.
And he's an Irish Catholic. It's as cheap as the day is long. But unfortunately, on August 12th, when we had very bad weather here from the climate from Canada, we were having smoke. My boss, because he's cheap, decided he was going to do concrete work in a 95-degree weather. My boss is Dr. Patrick E. McManus. I saved his life to start, but who saved them were these people that take care of our people in this town. We're a great town. We've been fighting for all of us, each other, through Sandy, through hurricanes, everything else that occurs. We need to keep that and continue to grow here in Long Beach. And the fact that you said that this thing for these firemen are coming, because without them, I would have lost quite a few family members in my life. And I thank them and bless God every day for them. And thank you that you guys, but 16 years, guys, Jesus, oh my God, that's scary.
I thought you said you were Jewish.
I am Jewish. I also go to church and pray over there too for Mama Cat, but okay, we all got it. Thank you so much, gentlemen. And I'm glad that they finally came to a point where we can recognize what these guys do, because as a nurse, I endanger myself at times, but not the way these guys do and what they have done for us. And they saved my family. And there's no words to describe that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hello, Catherine Lewis, City of Long Beach, firefighter, paramedic. Is the mic good here?
Yep.
Just want to say a few words on behalf of the members of the Long Beach Professional Firefighters Association. We would sincerely like to thank the City Council, City Manager Dan Creighton, Deputy City Manager Phil Ragona, Corporation Counsel Greg Kalnitsky, for the time, effort, and professionalism that went into reaching this agreement. Our firefighters have always believed that serving Long Beach extends beyond emergency response. It also means working collaboratively to ensure the city's long-term success. This contract demonstrates that public safety and fiscal responsibility can go hand in hand. It preserves the exceptional 24/7 fire and EMS response our residents rely on, while recognizing the dedication and professionalism of the firefighters. All those guys back there, and Jamie, serve them every day.
And you.
And me and Jamie, and the boys. After 16 years without a comprehensive successor contract, yes, you heard it right, 16 years, we've harped on that a bit, we're extremely proud to have reached an agreement that allows us to move forward together. It provides fair, livable wages for our cross-trained firefighters, strengthens our ability to recruit and retain exceptional personnel, and reflects our shared commitment to the community we're privileged to serve. Thank you again for your partnership throughout this process. We look forward to continuing to work together to provide the highest level of fire and emergency medical services to the residents of Long Beach. Thanks.
Kat, you and I certainly met under different circumstances, and they've changed a great deal in 2 years, haven't they? Yes, and we talked about it on the boardwalk the other day. I appreciate your professionalism and your board's professionalism in dealing with Dan and the rest of the group. And once again, we're going to reiterate, we always said we want the fire department to be an integral part of the city for as long as the city exists. And we need you, and the city needs you. So thank you for what you do. Thanks a lot. Ronnie Paganini.
Evening, everybody. Ron Paganini. You know, I have to be honest. And, you know, it's really a big deal to give somebody lifetime benefits. It's a massive thing to do. You know, and since you guys, we voted you in, I personally voted you in, I think the people should have a say in it. I'm just saying. It's a big thing. I'm not saying people don't deserve it, they do deserve. But it's a big thing in the eyes of a lot of people. It's a form of corruption. So, has it been tried before? Yes. Mr. Schneeman was here. Not only did he want lifetime after, I think, 2 years or 3 years of service, he wanted all the exempts, if you remember, to get free benefits for life. Well, that didn't go well, because you couldn't even get in the joint when that happened. But again, you know, I like to see you guys here a long time. You're doing a good job. But this just might put this thing over the edge. And you know how people are in Long Beach. They might not say anything, but they're thinking. I think you should rethink it. I mean, if I turned around and asked everybody in here to raise their hand if they're in favor of Dan getting it, let's see what happens. Is everybody in favor of Dan getting lifetime? Yes or no? Is everybody? You're not. You're not happy with it.
I just don't think this, we could consider this, let's say,
But I'm
a
just-
valid poll, you know? Because I think there are still mail-in ballots coming in
I
from
know.
downstairs.
But listen, Brendan, look what happened.
If it happens,
I'm just
it happens.
saying, you know, you guys are walking a thin line with this thing. He might not even have a job, but he'll have benefits. You know what I'm saying? In a couple, whatever. It's doesn't look good, and most of the people are going to be very angry. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Yes.
Dale Greenstein. I'm very happy that the firemen, firewomen, the entire department got an increase. I have concerns that it took 16 years for them to get a contract. I hope the percentage that they are getting is more than making up for the 16 years, because that's totally not fair. We are leaving people's lives in their hands. They need to be made up with the amount of money that they're getting needs to be fair for the 16 years that they didn't get it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's it? Oh, okay. I didn't see your hand up.
First of all, James Hodge, 95 East Fulton Street. Wanted to thank Cliff Scooten for his donation and being one of the #1 donators in the city of Long Beach. So let's give Cliff Scooten a round of applause. Thank you and your family for all you do. All right. I want to say this. I'm asking for clarity and accountability around the city manager's health benefits package. The compensation is not just a salary, it is also includes benefits, and those costs matter to taxpayers like myself. When a public executive is already paid at the highest level, the former speaker spoke, he makes more than about maybe 46 governors. The level for our city of size, the full package, should be transparent, clearly justified. That includes health insurance, retirement-related benefits, and any premium costs that the city is covering. My request is simple. Please explain what the city manager's health benefits is. It's not that I'm saying take anything away from them. How much the city pays for them, and how that compares to other comparable municipalities. Residents deserve to know whether these benefits are reasonable, competitive, and aligned with the scale of Long Beach. This is not personal. This is about public trust, fiscal responsibility, and making sure compensation reflects the size and needs of our city. Again, this is not personal to Dan, but like you said, after 2 years, it's a lifetime benefit, and Ronnie is someone that has always supported all of you. And I, again, agree with Ronnie in saying that it's something that should be looked at, a lifetime. You know, again, anybody can be worthy of being paid, but you got to look at what the city is already going through. He just got a $12,000 raise at the 9 o'clock surprise meeting you guys had when no taxpayers was here. When you raised the taxes 3.5%. You broke the tax cap 2% to raise it up another 0.5. So, you know, you are raising taxes, and sometimes you can hold back and then raise it on a non-voting year so nobody can remember in 2 years when you're running. But people will remember. This is Long Beach. They have good memory. And so I want to say I applaud you when you do good, but when you do things that need to be questionable, somebody has to ask that question. I do want to applaud you for giving the fire department, the department of men and women that run in when people run out. They're saving lives. And also I continue to say to you, no matter what you're doing in this city, let us do what we can to diversify. It has never been a paid African American in the history of the Long Beach paid fire department. And so when you're talking about diversity, I don't say just hire because they're black. I'm saying hire because they've passed tests and they're qualified. There's no current black police officers in the city of Long Beach. So again, thank you for giving them a contract after 16 years. Thank you.
Okay, I believe that's all the comments and questions from the public. We can move on to the voting. I think we should just do the vote straight up. Let's just do it straight up, I think.
I was going to make a couple of comments just to
Yeah, straight up.
No, I was going to make a couple of comments just to
Just vote straight up.
I think it might be.
Like 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, right.
Item number 1, a resolution to adopt an updated drug and alcohol-free workplace policy. Who will move and introduce the adoption of this item?
I will.
Who will second?
Second.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yeah.
Vice President Fiamara?
Yes.
President Finn?
Yes.
Item number 2, a resolution authorizing transfer of funds for the 2026-2027 fiscal year. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
I'll second it.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yes.
Vice President Fiamara?
Yes.
President Finn?
Yes.
Item number 3, a resolution authorizing the city manager to accept a charitable donation. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
I'll second it.
Who will second?
Chris.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Thank you to the students again, yes.
Vice President Fiamara?
Thank you, guys. Yes.
President Finn?
Surf for all. Love those guys. Yes.
Item number 4, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract for Phase 2 of the water main replacement project. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
I'll second it.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes, just before voting, I just want to acknowledge the comments that the gentleman had here before about some of the work done by Novelli. Unfortunately, that you feel that way, but I did hear a lot of comments from some of the speakers that came up, as well as people I've spoken to in the walks. So I will vote yes. However, I will reach out to Novelli, or at least have Ken reach out to Novelli and make sure that they are courteous, respectful, place their equipment where it belongs and their tools as well. So hopefully this phase is a lot more comfortable for you than Phase 1 was. So, but I vote yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yeah, agree, George, and I appreciate what Mike came up to say, too, because that's the majority of the comments that I've heard during the project. Yes.
Vice President Fiamara?
Yes.
President Finn?
I'd like to comment on that as well. Obviously, everyone's experience is not the same, and I'm sorry that your experience hasn't been, up to what I thought the rest of it was. I have to say, I live 1 block away, and I saw the project manager every day. I couldn't be more satisfied with what I saw from my vantage point. But point well taken, and what Mike Deloria had to say, I think, speaks volumes as well. So I'm voting yes.
Item number 5, a resolution authorizing an amendment to a previously adopted resolution. Who will move and introduce the adoption of this item?
I will.
Who will second?
Second.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yes.
Vice President Fiumara? President Finn?
Yes.
Item number 6, a resolution authorizing budget amendments to the fiscal year 2026 and fiscal year 2027 general fund budgets to provide funding for the collective bargaining agreement with the Long Beach Professional Firefighters Association. Who will move and introduce the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
Second.
Councilmember Johnson?
Congratulations again. Thank you to all. Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Absolutely, yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yes.
Vice President Fiumara?
Yes.
President Finn?
Yes.
Item number 7, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a collective bargaining agreement with the Local 287 of the Uniformed Firefighters Association, Long Beach, New York. Who will introduce and move adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
I will.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Apparently, we don't have a trumpet budget because I would like the royal trumpets to come down to celebrate because this is a big deal. Yes.
Vice President Fiumara?
Yeah, I mean, everybody talked about how long, and it's 16 years, and I'm proud to say we did it under 2, so I'm so proud of everybody. My vote is yes.
President Finn?
It's all been said before, but it's great to have the fire department in Long Beach, and I think it was time for them to have a contract. It seems to be, all parties seems to be satisfied, so of course I vote yes.
Let's clap.
Item number 8, a resolution authorizing city to extend an employment contract. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Who will second?
Second.
Councilmember Johnson?
Absolutely yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yes.
Vice President Fiumara?
Yes.
President Finn?
Yes.
Item number 9, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement for citywide exterminating services. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
Second.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yes.
Vice President Fiumara? President Finn?
Yes.
Item number 10, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into a contract with various firms for on-call engineering and architectural services. Who will introduce and move the adoption of this item?
I will.
Second?
Second.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
I love this one. This is streamlining things. Yes.
Vice President Fiumara?
Yes.
President Finn?
Yes. I'd like to make a comment before we go to good and welfare and before we close the meeting. As to the contract extension for our city manager, I'll speak for myself personally as I did before, but I know I'm now speaking for the council based on the vote. We feel that we've done many good things in the 2.5 years that we've been able to work for the city. And we've been able to do that because of Dan Creighton. He works tirelessly, he works very diligently, and is extremely efficient and competent. His ethics are beyond the pale. He's a very ethical person. I feel that we don't give him a contract like this, we probably lose him. Maybe we get a city manager as good as him. I sincerely doubt it. That's why I voted for that contract, and I know that's why we voted for it on the council here. If you worked with him every day or you worked with him just a little bit, you know the competency he brings, and I think the city needed that for a long time and didn't have it. So that's why I voted for that. So I'm very proud that we give you a new contract, Dan. Yes.
Just to add to that, I mean, people don't realize how tough this job is and how tough it is to find qualified candidates. We know that because look where we've got to as a city. We have a beach, we have a bay, we have great places, and we're broke. So, you know, we could keep having people who are unqualified, keep having a person who's a police commissioner and the city manager. We can keep doing all this stuff. We can keep having people, you know, it's tough to find people. I mean, Fortunately for the panel that's up here, some of us retired, some of us are able to give our dedication and whatnot to the city, but look at the city council salaries. I mean, I did the math on what I made, because I did the hours on a week. Did I make $3.43 an hour? And I can't go out to dinner with my wife without somebody bothering me. So it's a very tough job. And salary that Dan makes is the same salary as the previous city manager made and the previous city manager before that. And some highlights to point out is we got rid of payouts. So what the previous administrations did, and this should have been talked about, but when certain city managers left, they gave them the remainder of their contract, okay, hundreds of thousands of dollars. What we're doing is trying to hedge, Dan, where it's 5 years you have to do for lifetime benefits. Dan can go back to the MTA for 1 year, and that may or may not happen, pending the next election, whatever may happen, and his benefits go away from here. So the same way, and we all know this from being in the spirit of what's going on in this room, no firefighter, no fireman, no CSEA worker wants to work without security, right? We all know that because we're all in this room, and that's what we're celebrating tonight. You want to know you have, you know, your next few years planned out. You want to know you're covered health, you know, your health-wise and financial-wise. It's no different for Dan Creighton. Just because he's up here every day and the soundboard for many people and the same people who come in here each week and antagonize him and look to, you know, not add constructive things for the city, but just look to say, I gotcha, or whatever it may be. You know who you are out there. You're going to always come up and complain. Like I said, we can cure cancer, but there's always going to be somebody who complains. Contract Dan got is very fair, and the money he saved us in the last few years that I've been here, it outweighs anything else. So I'm proud to stand behind that, and I think it was a very good deal. And like we said, there's probably a good chance at some point Dan's not going to be here forever, just like all of us, and he's going to go back to the private sector, and those benefits are going to go away. While he's here, it's a good cushion or comfort level for him to have, just like everybody else wants that comfort in this room. So I just want to say I stand behind that 100%.
Well said, Chris. Brendan, can I bring up one other point too? Brendan, I'd like to bring up one other point too. This comparison here too, just keep in mind, every comparison here other than Dan is an elected official. Elected officials generally do not get the money that people like Dan do, and even though it's a city, it's still, he's hired privately. Most of these people that are elected, as I'm looking at them, they all come from blue blood families primarily. When they retire, they will have speaking engagements where they will earn the thousands. They will have book deals where they'll earn in the thousands. So this is an entirely different comparison when you compare how much the governor makes. How much does the President of the United States make? I believe less than all of these. So it's really not a very fair comparison, if you ask me. So thanks anyway, though, Eileen.
All right, so thank you for the statements, and
The city manager's personnel report has been filed by the city clerk. Who will make a motion to close the meeting? I will. Who will second?
I'll second it.
Councilmember Johnson?
Yes.
Councilmember Ennis?
Yes.
Councilmember Reinhardt?
Yes.
Vice President Fiamara?
Yes.
President Finn?
Yes. All right, let the fun begin. There goes everybody.
No, they put one in.
All right, we're going to move on with the favorite part of the show, and that is good and welfare. Julie Gelfand.
Hi, everybody. Julie Gelfand.
Hi, Julie.
Hi. I have two items, if I can squeeze them into 3 minutes. The first is I want to applaud the council's recent actions to crack down on e-vehicles on the boardwalk, which are clearly a hazard to all of us. However, I would like to ask the council to consider an exception. My husband is handicapped. He has a handicap tag from the city of Long Beach on his car. He cannot walk distances. He has an electric tricycle, which only goes, I think, maximum speed, maybe 15 miles an hour. Under the current new rules, he is not able to go to the boardwalk with me. And I'm certain he's not the only person in town that fits that description. I would like to ask the council to please consider whether those who have been permitted for handicapped parking with their auto vehicles be allowed to be permitted for e-bike, in Darrell's case, tricycle use on the boardwalk. You can issue a tag. We'd be happy to pay an annual permitting fee, whatever is appropriate. But I do think that we're missing something when we can't go to the boardwalk together for the summer. He simply can't walk on the boardwalk.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my item number one. My item number two has to do with the sanitation department. The sanitation receptacles, the trash cans on the corners and on the boardwalk are unspeakably filthy. Filthy. And on the streets in particular, people are lazy, people are happy at the end of the evening, they're tossing stuff in, they miss the cans, all that stuff accumulates underneath the cans inside the framework, and they are not being cleaned. When sanitation, and I completely understand how hard it is and the time constraints associated with this. But they're picking those cans up, they're emptying them into the collector vehicles and putting them back in. They're not being cleaned. The stuff under them is not being swept out. It's really, really unsightly, it's unhealthy, and it doesn't speak well of our city. It just looks awful.
Well, okay, duly noted, certainly. Have to do something about that. Commissioner, can I throw you under the e-bike, if that's possible?
So you're not the only person who brought this up. The recent e-bike law didn't change the fact that you can't have an electric bicycle on the boardwalk. So prior to the law that was voted on, you weren't allowed to have a motorized bicycle on the boardwalk.
Right.
The new law just added the term e-bike in there. It was just labeled as motorized bicycle prior to the law change. So the recent vote didn't change anything. So e-bikes weren't allowed prior to that vote, just as they're not now. Your concerns aren't. You're not the only person who brought up concerns like this. We are, we hear you, and we are thinking about options and things like that. But but at this point, it's just unsafe. We have, unfortunately, there's people that take advantage. They go up there, and they ride at speeds that are just excessive. These e-bikes are large. And and a collision with an e-bike is substantial. It can cause substantial injury.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I have absolutely no disagreement with that. I would venture to guess that somebody with a handicap and a handicapped parking permit is not riding a two-wheeler 30-mile-an-hour e-bike. In the case of my...
If I may, on the placard issue, I think it would be excellent to say that if you have a placard, you could use these other mobility devices on the boardwalk.
That would be great.
The issue is, federal law says otherwise. The
Okay.
handicap placard is good to show, but they say it's sufficient for the person just to make a representation that I'm disabled and I need this device, and the officers are not allowed to inquire any further. So it creates sort of enforcement issues.
Right, but when the handicap sticker is issued, or the permit rather, is issued by the city in the first place, I'm assuming there's some sort of qualification process that somebody just can't come to City Hall and say, I want a handicap
You're
parking
absolutely
permit.
correct, but I would venture to, the issue is we can't require them to say, all right, we're going to give you a pass if you have this placard. Federal law says if they just say that they have a disability and they require the device for their disability, that's it. If it could be done in such a way as like you get, placards or something like that, that might work. But the problem is that federal law says you can't just make them have a placard. That is acceptable proof, but if they just tell you that they're disabled, that's it.
I hear what you're saying, and I don't want to use up everybody else's time while I'm thinking about it, but I'm willing to bet that there's a solution somewhere. And it would be great if the council and the
We can
appropriate
talk about it after
staff
the meeting.
could have a discussion.
We'll talk about it after the meeting.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Mrs. Ruth Orolari? She left. She was McManus's nurse, right? Yeah, okay. Well, Lucky McManus is still alive, right? No, he's doing great. Michael O'Donnell. We'll resume.
Let's do this.
The sewer on Georgia.
Correct. So Mike O'Donnell, 65 Georgia. Let's go for the whole beginning. Good evening, council and members. My name is Mike O'Donnell. I'm here tonight to ask for meaningful action regarding a recurring sewer backup problem that has affected my home for years. Once again, that's 65 Georgia Avenue, corner of Beach on Georgia Avenue. Since 2020, I've been in contact with the Department of Sewers, the Building Department, at least 5 separate occasions with sewer backups. That time frame, I'm also notifying the police because they are the ones dispatching the crews out, because often this happens at night. These are not isolated incidents. They represent an ongoing problem that continues to impact my property, my finances, my quality of life. Based on what I've been told, the issue appears to be connected to the heavy commercial activity, the buildings, the restaurants, the bars on Beach Street, right there on Georgia Avenue and Beach Street. I understand the Cabana and Speakeasy, because I've been talking to the powers that be, Kemmons, Shoe. They said they even had your master plumber go down and look and basically say, oh, it's not that facility. It's routed and it goes down past more eastbound. But either way, I'm not looking to point a finger tonight in that scenario. What I'm looking for is resolution. Regardless of the source, it's clear that the problem has persisted for years and has not adequately been resolved. Throughout this process, once again, I've been directed to Mr. Shue, Kemmons, Atkins, Ms. Murphy, Mr. Weed, Mr. Arnold, and most recently, the non-emergency division of our police department. Last night, I spoke to Sergeant Iden for probably 5 calls. The most frustrating experience occurring during the most recent backup, once again last night, when I called the non-emergency police number, I was informed that I need to get a licensed plumber who would first have to verify that the backup then came from the city sewer line, not from my lateral within my house. Once again, I have a proven history of the city is being the source, the city main line. This is the key part of the conversation, where here we are right now. As a taxpayer that I have to pay out of pocket to get a licensed plumber to come into my house, that I have to pay, then prove and say, hey, it's not my house causing the problem, it's the city sewer line that's loaded with grease and debris from these restaurants and bars. Ultimately, please, I beg of you, I've been dealing with this for years. The process, how would as a taxpayer, I have to pay out of pocket to get a plumber. In my case, once again, it's proven that it's the city sewer lines, and it was proven once again last night that it's not my household. So, going back, I'm just looking for a solution, and then for me to pay out of pocket and pay several hundred last night just for this, I'm not asking for anything that's not fair. Then the next part, I'm just looking for a solution. Like these grease traps, number 2 is coming into my house. Mass amounts, several occasions. It's gross, it's disgusting, there's children there, and we have to find a resolution.
Mike, I'll get involved in this and I'll help take a look at this or whatever. You shouldn't have to hire a plumber to prove it. We should be able to determine what the source of it is. I'll work with the Department of Public Works on it myself.
You'll stick around after the meeting?
Please.
Yeah. Okay.
I also want to apologize to Sergeant Iden. I was pretty inappropriate on the phone. I did not accept the response of saying, hey, this is the process. This is the process. It's a gray area. He says it comes from the powers up above. You guys are the powers up above. I'm asking for a resolution, please.
Well, stick around after the meeting. We'll work it out.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Ken Gopal?
Good evening, City Council members. Ken Gopal, 557 West Bay Drive. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I'm a fairly new resident to your fine city, coming from Rockland County, Nyack, moving down here to be with you fine folks in this fair city. So my question is, last general meeting, there was a contract awarded to outside agency, or a firm actually, not an agency, regarding cybersecurity.
Regarding what street?
Cybersecurity. Yes.
Cyber-
Correct. I think Councilman Reinhardt, you asked some questions regarding what it entails with the contract, and I think the answer you got was they're going to do some testing, some passwords. So my question was, cybersecurity itself, right? If we're going to give them $40,000 to do just minor testing, shouldn't we have a broader scope of things like authentication server testing, maybe a pen test, for example, penetration testing, red hat teams, white hats, Radius, you know, the authentication servers like remote authentication, dial-in user service, Active Directory, TechHacks Plus, which is who manage your device administration. So this is what I'm wondering if that's going to be included in the $48,000 that we're going to pay this firm to do this cybersecurity. And I'd like a follow-up question with that.
So I can get you the details of what's included. I think we didn't go out there and say every item that was done. I know Al was here at that meeting. I don't think he's here now. It is going to be it's a lot more in depth than what was stated in the meeting. It's an audit that's done where they go in and do as many penetration type activities as possible to see where our weaknesses are. I think most of what you said is included. I don't want to confirm that because I don't have the contract in front of me, but I believe there's a lot of that included.
Okay, that's awesome. Now, just quickly, I want to bring to your attention a letter from the Homeland Security and Emergency Services, October 30th. That's what led to this. Is dated to you, the Honorable General Creighton. It's really a letter announcing the award of $50,000 in federal funding under the fiscal year 2023 Cybersecurity Grant Program. It's coming from Terrence O'Leary, Acting Commissioner. Was that funding part of that?
Yes, that was the funding that's being used for that. That was the grant that was mentioned in that meeting that will be paying for it. It's more than what the actual contract is for. That is what's being used to fund it, and that was used as the basis for how we contracted out.
Awesome, awesome. So I want to follow up with another, this is an internal memo dated April 13th to you, Dan, and it's coming from Tyler Huffman, Director of Community Development. And it talks about prepare a resolution for the 4/21/26 City Council meeting to accept and execute the following grant. Now, it listed from Part 1, 50,000, New York State DHSES, which is the New York State Division of Homeland Security and Emergency Services. That fund is coming from federal fundings, of course, and they're the one that administers the program. But I'd like to ask you, bring your attention to line item, I think it's E, project description. It says to fund the replacement of the city's outdated firewalls, which have exceeded their useful life and are no longer supported by the manufacturer. So my question to you is, did you get the firewall, and what kind of firewall did you get? Was it hardware, software? Is it the cloud firewall, which is known as FWASS?
So that was a different grant. One of them was a security audit of the firewall system that does a penetration survey that tests to see what weaknesses you have. The other one was to actually replace the firewall system and upgrade it to modern, standards.
Was it a next generation firewall?
I can't tell you the detail, and honestly, I wouldn't probably anyway, because what we don't want to do is put out there what what we have as far as our firewall system and point out weaknesses with it. John, did you want to say something on that? But it really is what you don't really put out there is your cybersecurity weaknesses out into the
Yeah, I
public.
was just going to say I'm channeling my inner Al, and I think any cybersecurity audit would recommend that you don't answer this line of questioning.
Right.
That's
but-
nonsense. But either way.
But yeah, but I mean, you can come in, I mean, if you want me to have the answers with me here at this time without knowing that you are coming to ask these questions, it would be a little difficult. But if you want to come into the office and sit down with me and the IT
Oh, I
director,
appreciate
that would probably be more appropriate than doing it here at this.
Okay. Because this is federal funding and this is funding, public funding. But we have a similar setup in New York City. We have New York City Cyber Command. We do the same setup, but we answer to the public, right?
Yeah, I think we would have been more prepared to answer your questions when we had those agenda items ongoing rather than at the next meeting. But I can definitely go over with you and the IT security director if you'd like to.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Ron Paganini.
Ron Paganini, Long Beach. So, Dan, are we going to get the canals tested, yes or no?
No.
No? No. All right, so on that remark,
I think we told you last meeting, right? Who the responsible parties were, and we'd have to get them involved to test it because they were the
yeah. But you said if they didn't.
Maybe you forgot.
But I'm just saying, you said if they didn't do it, you were going to do it, meaning the city would have to pay for it.
I think there's two different government organizations that should be doing it before the city should be doing it.
Well, if they don't do it, we have to do it. I mean, if you don't want to do it, there's people in here, I don't want to make any names, but they said they'll get it tested and we'll bring the results up to you.
And I would do the same. I would forward them to the responsible parties that are responsible for those waterways and the swimming conditions. Ron, I told you this when we discussed. I mean, go ahead. This is your
But
3
it's-
minutes, not mine.
if all we need is to get it tested, and if the water's good, who cares? So everything's done. But if the waters are polluted, listen, if there's any waters polluted in the ocean, the bays, anywhere, they have to be fixed. Remember we used to dump out into the ocean, the barges, for years? For 100 years they dumped. 100 years they dumped out there in the 1800s. And we stopped and the water cleaned up and the fish came back, right? In the ocean. It was terrible. There was a line of muck, you wouldn't believe it, that the gill netters would drop their nets and the nets would come up black. It all disappeared. Now the bays are the same thing. We're cleaning up the bay. We're not dumping in the bay, right? We have to clean it. If there's people swimming, the responsibility is on you. And if the people want to get it tested, and I come up here.
Obviously, we have to have a conference with, it's the.
Yeah, but-
Who is it?
County department.
So
We could
it's-
have Ken
it's-
describe
it's
it
the
again.
I think it's going on a little too long. I mean, come on, this is like a year and a half I brought this up, you know. It's not fair. I mean, if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Ron, have you brought it up to the authorities that are responsible for it rather than, I mean, us?
Yeah, but it's our water, it's our people that are going to get sick. It's the kids who are going to get sick. It's your responsibility. It is. If not, again, if we get it tested and I bring up the results, who's going to fix it? It's our storm drains that are polluting it. Our storm drains are polluting it. That's where it's coming from. And storm drain pollution, there's money in the state budget, in the state, that would alleviate and fix it.
Right, in the state budget.
Yeah, but we have to make it known that it's polluted. All right, I'll have the list. If people want to get it tested, I'll bring the testing up here. If it's filthy, dirty water, and then what do we do with it? So do I post it up at the canals? Don't swim, and I put the test up there? Come on, George, what do you think?
Well,
I mean, come on, if you were living on the canals and you thought it was polluted, wouldn't you want to know if it's polluted?
I would, but as everybody said, there's a certain jurisdiction that does not allow us, I believe.
Yeah, but you
correct,
guys have to
do that.
get that jurisdiction to do it or whatever. And we need it tested.
I just want to also add that you can't swim in the canals. It's not permitted. It's against city code.
If it's against city code, then you have to put up signs. Because they are swimming in it.
There's thousands and thousands of laws. We can't put up signs for every single law out there. It's just not.
If it's polluted
it's
like
not
that?
reasonable. But it is against city code to swim in the canals.
Ron, the law says you can't speed. We shouldn't have signs up all over the city saying no speeding. Right? It's.
Well, I mean, look, we're splitting
You
hairs.
guys are missing the point. I mean, Brandon,
we'll have to try to bring it back to the county and see what happens with it.
so you don't mind if people get people in, it could cost $1,000, and I'll have the results for you, and then we'll take it
I have
from
no
there.
idea what the money is. I don't know the money.
But I'm just saying, I'm not paying for it, you're not gonna pay for it. People wanna pay for it, who live in that area, and let them pay for it.
Okay.
And then we'll take it from there. I'm just being honest with you.
All right.
So you don't wanna do anything with it, that's it. It's fine.
Eileen Hessian.
Hi, Eileen Hessian. I have 4 questions or comments. I think they're pretty quick. The first one is that at the last city council meeting, I had asked how many cars go home overnight from the city fleet, and you said you'd get the answer back to me.
John, can we just we'll send it to her tomorrow. We have that.
I'm sorry, what?
We'll send it to you tomorrow.
Okay, thank you. The second thing was, Mr. Fiamara, you said, we're broke. Why'd you say that? Are we?
We have a surplus.
Excuse me?
We have a surplus from a functionality.
Are we broke?
From a functionality of accountant. Do we have money?
I don't know. I'm asking you. You said we're broke. I'm hoping we're not.
Call us rich. We don't have a surplus.
City manager, are we broke?
No.
Thank you. Next. Do you know that there is a tax?
Lies. I know you love
I
lying.
can't
Your whole
hear
crew
you.
does.
The
Yeah, exactly.
tax bill that just came out has an error on it for every single person who got a tax bill. Did you know that?
No.
It's on the line, super block deficit. They put in the wrong number. I don't know if everybody has the wrong number. Mine is $350. And when I went up to the tax office to see why my $100 was raised to $350, they said it's a mistake. Everybody has the same mistake. The total of your bill is correct. I can pay that same amount, but just so you know, there's a mistake on every single tax bill. The last thing is about the Hebrew Academy. Mr. Kalnitsky, you had mentioned in the article, I think it's Newsday, that the shorter, the towers that Whittick plans on building at HALB are within 10 feet of the actual height of neighboring buildings. Did you mean 10 feet higher?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's not acceptable, really. Also, it mentions in this article, I'm not sure if they're quoting you, but between the number of 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, and 3-bedroom apartments, there are 106 apartments, but 244 bedrooms. So that's at least 244 and possibly 500 people going to work every day. This is really not acceptable. I know that I have to bring this up when it comes to the zoning board, but I think this deserves a lot of attention. We already have empty condos on, Grand Boulevard, and also next to the Alegria. Nobody ever moved into those. I know they're not full at the high-rises. How many more condos are we going to build?
Alegria?
The building next to it.
Right. He just opened, right?
Who just opened?
I don't even think
I don't
they're
think he has
listed yet.
CFO yet.
They're not listed
Yeah, they're not.
What I'm
listed.
saying is that there are rooms that will eventually be for sale, and we're going to sink. There's just too many people.
We're gonna
I
let-
mean, try to get down to the beach on a Saturday, even in the winter. It's a very, very bad idea. Mr. Whittick had some a little trouble years ago. I don't know that he's the greatest person to work with, but I'll tell you, that is going to be a monstrosity. And Mr. Finn, you live right near there too. And you live near the other ones that are empty. This is thousands of people coming in here. And what about our infrastructure? I mean, it's just a mess.
Okay, well, first of all, this is something for the zoning board.
Yes, I understand
But you
that,
also know how I feel about the overbuilding in Long Beach that preceded this council for years and years
But
and
what
years.
about now? What about the future?
What about now? We're doing what we can to keep it real, to keep it legitimate.
That doesn't make sense when you.
Oh, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense what happened previously.
It doesn't
And you didn't
matter what
complain-
happened.
And you didn't
What
complain about
matters-
that, did you? And you did not complain about that.
I certainly did. I was one of the people who led the Hebrew Academy problem. I was one of the leaders there. So yes, I did. I certainly did. And I'm talking about your administration and the future of Long Beach, not the past. Stop blaming prior administrations and do something about this. This is
we're doing
overdevelopment,
it.
which is
We-
outrageous.
We are doing something about it, and you don't
You're
like
building
that.
more and more. You keep building more and more bedrooms here.
Nothing got built under us yet. Nothing. Not one building yet.
It's from 2012, that building.
Meg
2012,
Peretz.
just facts.
Hi.
Hi.
Mike Peretz. I live at 65 Lincoln between Broadway and Shore.
So you have to speak right into the microphone or they get very mad.
They're fine. They are fine.
Okay, if you say so.
I'll talk to them after. I live at 65 Lincoln. I'm between Broadway and Shore. Cyclists going the wrong way, big issue in Long Beach. Now with the e-bikes, even worse. I go to park. I am now battling e-bikes going the wrong way on Shore Road. I know that there's rules about chasing them and tickets. You can't ticket people if you can't prove to them what's illegal. There is not one no entrance sign, saying don't go this way. There's not one way this way sign. That
On where, on
intersection-
Shore Road?
Shore and Lincoln. It's the Wild West. There's a stop sign. And when that came down a couple years ago, I called Public Works. I said, by the way, the stop sign fell. Would you put a sign above it that says no right turn? It's not going to stop the people at Sea Point from going into their driveway the way they do, but it might stop somebody from making a right turn and going the wrong way down Shore. But the other
Check
day,
that out.
they came from Franklin or wherever, two people, and they're laughing and joking, and someone is going to get killed.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm asking for no entrance signs, one on the back side of my stop sign, the stop sign going south. So I want one so people won't come north. My husband watched somebody
You're
drive
saying do not enter on Shore and what?
Lincoln.
And Lincoln.
It should be at Shore and Lincoln. Above the stop sign, it should be no right turn onto Shore. There should be a one-way sign. There are no one-way signs on Shore. It's and I mean, I've been there how long have I not
Okay,
noticed
all
this?
right.
And then the stop sign on Lincoln, when you're going south, on the back side of it, I think there should be a sign that says no entrance so people don't come up Lincoln the wrong way, which somebody did Saturday morning.
You mean from Broadway to Shore?
Coming up, no, from the beach. They come up from the beach. I don't know how they get confused. I don't know if they made a left off of Shore, but they came up the downside of Lincoln. So
We're going to throw the commissioner under the e-bike again. Used to be a bus, but now it's an e-bike.
I apologize.
Oh, I'm sorry, I really did. I thought you were listening, I'm sorry.
It's bad, and by the way.
So the question is about whether we have enough signage on Shore Road and Lincoln.
We have no signage that says one way.
Okay.
Nothing that says Shore is one way, nothing that says do not enter. E-bikes are going the wrong way. I got to make the left turn to swing around a park, and they're coming. And by the way, yeah, if we had a second entrance or exit off the boardwalk on the other side of the street, then people could come down going in the right direction, but we didn't because we catered supposedly, I don't know, we didn't have the money, or we
Yeah, I
catered
agree
to
with
the
you on
aqua or
that.
whatever.
That
So-
ship sailed.
Yeah, so people come down the wrong way, but
Okay.
at least there should be signs. So that then, if there's a policeman there and they see an e-bike going the wrong way, the e-bike person can't say, I didn't know.
We'll take a, we'll take
Yeah,
a survey of the
so
signage.
there's
We'll,
like-
we'll take a look and.
It should be
see
don't
what's
enter,
missing.
no right turn, all that. Also, I called like 3 times. I left messages with, I think it was the beach maintenance people. I was told they handle the center boxes on Broadway, the flower boxes, and nobody called me back. And then I left a message with somebody in the city manager's office. Someone will call you back today. Oh, that was weeks ago. I offered, if they'll put a little fence on it so people stop walking their dogs in it, I would put bulbs in it in the fall, so we'd have a ton of daffodils, something
Okay.
easy. I would put flowers in there or thrown seed down, but I'm not doing it because even though it's 6 inches off the ground, everyone thinks it's a dog.
So, if you don't mind sticking around, or we'll get your number, and we'll,
Yeah. And last but not least, I just want to ask that you guys please treat everybody with respect who comes up here with the same respect that you would treat your mother, and not raise your voice, not talk behind their back.
have I
And-
treated you
and-
badly?
No, not
Right,
me.
because you
I'm
know
just
why?
saying-
Because you spoke very nicely.
I'm just
And I
saying-
appreciate that.
I'm just saying if you could, because it's painful to sit down there and hear you guys snapping at people. It's just kind of.
I don't think I snapped at anyone tonight. I mean, you think I did, obviously.
I do.
Whoever I snapped at, I apologize, but I try to speak to everybody nicely, and if people start to antagonize, how are you going to respond?
Like it was your mother. I guess is the best to say.
Oh, my mother's up in heaven, so. all
I
right.
know, so is mine.
Okay,
But thank you.
thank you. James Hutchinson.
Evening all. James Hutchinson, 73 East Market Street, Long Beach, New York.
Good evening.
My name is James Hutchinson. I have been a resident of Long Beach for 56 years. I've watched this city grow. I've raised my family here. I've known about the Martin Luther King Center, and long before it ever knew me. Like many residents, I've always viewed the MLK as one of Long Beach's most important community institutions. That's why I'm here tonight. I'm not here because of personalities. I am here because I believe public deserves transparency, accountability, and confidence that the MLK Center is being governed according to its bylaws and the best interests of the community. Mr. Creighton, I have a few questions for you. As city manager, you serve the people of Long Beach. I understand criticism comes with public service. Every public official is subjected to public scrutiny. That's part of the responsibility, and that comes with the office. My questions aren't about Facebook posts. They are about governance. They are about the MLK Center bylaws. They're about notice, board, procedures, fiduciary responsibilities, and the public confidence in one of our city's most important institutions. Mr. Creighton, Corporation Counsel stated the city's concern was enforcing the lease once you became a board member. My question to you, why was one of the first actions once you got on the board was to second a motion and get rid of a vice chair, the lease issues that the city identified?
Let me take care of it. I'll take care of it. Just give all your questions, and we'll deal with this when you're finished.
Okay. Before you second the motion, have you read the MLK Center bylaws? Your corp counsel is very well aware of decorum and the 50% that you need to take a vote to remove anyone off a body or an officer. If the city's only purpose was to enforce the lease, how did voting to remove an elected officer, not only elected officer, but a vice president? Did you consider whether your dual roles as city manager, board member, created potential conflict of interest before you participated in that vote? Were you Why were you dully serving board members not notified of the June 17th before such an important vote was taken? Why was a board member called only minutes before the vote was taken rather than provided what the bylaws call for 7 days in advance?
Finished?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Okay. So I agree with you. The MLK Center is a very, very important part of Long Beach, and our council, our previous council and our current council recognize that. And we, along with Dan Creighton, and we instructed him and our Corp Council, previous Corp Council and our present Corp Council, that the MLK Center needed a lease. And they got a lease. And they got a lease because of us. And it reopened because of us, and it reopened because of Dan Creighton. And Sheena has been doing a very good job. The headwinds have been difficult for her, but she's been doing a good job. Here's the point. They signed a lease with a contract with stipulations in it, and we follow those stipulations. We want the MLK Center to be up and running and working and providing for the community the way it should. And because of Dan Creighton, it is. And it will be.
Hold on a second. None of my questions was answered.
Okay. I thought you said you were finished.
No, I asked a question about.
No, I'm sorry. I thought you said you were finished.
Taking a vote. Okay, when you take.
No, I'm not going to comment. I'm not going to comment on any of the private.
It's not private.
Mechanisms.
It's public information.
Excuse me?
It's public information. It's not private.
What's public information?
A board meeting that goes on in a not-for-profit it's not private. It's public information.
Okay, so what do you want me to say?
Because I didn't ask you the question. I asked.
Yeah, I know,
Mr.
but I'm
Creighton.
handling the meeting.
I asked Mr.
I know, but I'm handling the meeting, so I'm
You
going.
always handle this.
That's
see,
right.
I'm not
That's
being
right.
I'm not being disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful, but you're raising your voice at me. I didn't raise my voice at you. I wasn't even talking to you. I asked him the question.
Let me explain this.
Go ahead.
The city council wants the MLK Center to be a highly functioning provider of services to the community. Dan Creighton is tasked with doing that. He's doing his job. We have a new board.
You didn't answer.
Excuse me. No, please don't comment. Don't yell out comments from the public. Thank you very much. That's the answer.
That's the answer.
Yes,
Did you
it is.
read that lease? You said you.
Oh, yes, I read it.
Okay.
Yes.
In that lease, it said to appoint a city member. It didn't say appoint the city manager.
No, right. That's who they appointed.
Okay. So he can't answer the question.
Not tonight.
A man that has so much
We
to say
can
about
talk
me.
about it
I'm
again,
here.
though. I mean, let's talk about it privately.
Yeah, you talk about me all the time. Yeah. You talk about me all the time.
Do I really?
You said some very nasty things about me.
Listen. The reason why I said we have the council. The council.
I'm here.
Dan, please. Dan.
I'm here.
Dan,
I'm a man.
Dan, stop
if you
it.
have something to say
Dan,
to me, you can
Dan,
say it to me.
Stop it.
But you have him
Stop it.
talking for you. I'm asking a question. And I didn't get not one answer.
You got the answer.
No, I didn't get the answer.
Okay.
I didn't get the answer.
Okay.
And you're a very nasty individual, man. I just want to let you know
Okay.
that.
Thank you. Okay. Byron Mitchell. Excuse me?
I'm not going to waste my time passing my pearls to swine, especially when I'm being so disrespectful.
Okay. James Hodge.
James Hodge, 95 East Fulton Street, Long Beach, New York. I think the last speaker summed up a lot of it. As a former chair of the Long Beach Martin Luther King Center and on the board for 16 years, the center was built a part of my yard. You didn't reopen the center. The center has been open. And I don't want you to take credit for what people have been fighting for. And, you know, you've been a help in the situation of getting a lease, but the city was in a very hard battle with Mr. Brewington and the consultants that you had. And so you bought them out of the lease. We spoke about that prior to this current chair. We spoke about you guys taking them out of eviction court, and it's something that you did. Thank you. But again,
You're welcome.
Kalminski, basically under threat, told the board, you got a lease, and it was that we're going to send 6 people or several people to the MLK board, and you would pick. And then they basically said that, the city manager, through so many different laws that I guess you'll find out soon, but so many laws that it would be a conflict of interest. The first board meeting, but they still went on with it. And Dan, who's the city manager who manages your leases and contracts, you guys vote on it, he manages. How can he sit on this side of the table and manage the MLK lease and then sit on this side of the table and, what is he, talking to himself? He's voting? How does he get into this community, the community that fights for people? And his first motion, second, the motion to kick off a man, vice president, who's been from this community, his family's from this community. How is that? Thought you cared about the community. The meeting was only 17 minutes. How do you care? Did you even get the information? Maybe everything needs to be FOIA requested, your texts, your emails, everything, because the Attorney General and way more, I promise you, I stayed out of this, but you came in and you sit and you guys basically kicked him out, which it says you're supposed to give a member 4 days and you're supposed to give him his information on what you're supposedly charging him with. You basically kicked him off, voted to kick him off the board, and then you set a hearing for tomorrow. How do you kick someone off and your bylaws is, Kaminsky, you don't see the bylaws? You don't see what he did? It's wrong.
This isn't city business, so...
It ain't city business. Don't worry, it's going to become city business because he's a city officer. He's a city manager. And so, again, you guys are having a meeting. It's a sham. You did what you were supposed to. You did. You kicked him off, and now you're going to have a hearing. You took his access to his emails. How could he defend his case? It's wrong. Look up every law you can on what they did. Won't you give them guidance? The city manager shouldn't be in between this. It's a nonprofit. It's a community organization. You got in your first meeting, Dan. You voted to kick the vice president off. He's been there faithful. How do you do that, Dan? You said you're fair. She said you was on the board before you was even on the board. Finn wouldn't have, I don't believe he would have done what you done. You can tell him time is up. But listen, me and him go back and forth. But when they find out, and I don't know if you guys saw the letters and what's coming from court, I guarantee you this president would have told you, Dan, stay away from it. Because you interjected yourself. The city don't need this. How do you interject yourself in a community thing? Why? Finn, president, his first meeting, the meeting was 17 minutes. He made a motion to kick the vice president off of the board.
Okay,
You don't know what I'm talking about. It's all in the minutes. It's a nonprofit. It's New York State law. It's bylaws. All of this is laws.
Made no motion.
Say it again.
I'm running the meeting.
You said you didn't make no motion? Oh, thank you. Wait, I apologize. Let me apologize, Ben. Let me apologize. If you didn't, no, I didn't say you made the motion. You seconded it.
We are done because you are out of time. Thank you. We can discuss it on the side.
Motion, so you're still wrong.
Yeah.
All right? You're still wrong. And time will tell.
Thank you very much, but your time is up.
Yeah, okay.
Thank
So,
you.
again, you're wrong for what
Dale
you're doing.
Greenstein.
The community have to speak. You're wrong. You come from my community and kick somebody and go to kick somebody off the board who's been doing the work. You ain't going to.
All right, listen, we're not going to litigate this here. Okay, Dale.
Dale Greenstein.
Welcome back.
This is simple.
Good.
I'm looking at.
I could use something simple right now.
I'm looking at item 10, and you have a list of 10 companies that have been accepted to add, I guess, to be willing to work in our community. And this committee has said it's okay. Question number 8. Why are we dealing with somebody from Hollywood, Florida? Item 10, number 8.
NV5, 200. I'll ask Ken.
But I don't know.
Ken Arnold.
NV5 is a local company with a local office. Their corporate office is in Florida.
Okay, thank you very much.
It's a local company.
It's a global company with a local office in Long Beach.
Yeah, they have a local office in Nassau County.
Nassau County.
But their corporate offices are in Florida.
It really would be nice if we knew where they were located in this area, because it doesn't look, I'm going to use the word
Okay, we'll
kosher.
find out for you. We'll get you the
Please,
answer.
please do.
It's not a secret. Good question. Peggy Butts.
Good evening, Peggy Butts.
Good evening,
Shore Road,
Peggy.
Here in Long Beach. A lot of highs, which are great for a students donation, great for the firefighters, great for Dan for you to be able to continue. Good to see everybody here this evening. Unfortunately, there are a lot of lows, as we can hear. I think the bigger problem when I'm listening to the theme that takes place here is that people want to have more transparency, more meetings, more opportunities to be a part of whatever it may be, whether it be about e-bikes, whether it be about, the rodent infestation with the garbage. Yeah, I know you say you're not really building anything yet with the towers over with the Hebrew school, but there is issues in terms of there is a meeting for community development along the bayfront, and then that suggested townhomes and condominiums, and then with the developments on the Broadwalk side, that's more condominiums. And again, it is true. How much more people can we afford to keep here in our little sliver of Long Beach? We do hit becoming overpopulated, and we don't have any ideas of where we're going to put people as far as parking is concerned. And even if they suggest they're going to have parking, we see that there still is an issue with parking. There's an issue with the community development that might take place there. What does that do with the residents in that area? How can we have another meeting to make sure that that is inclusive, to let people know what is taking place and be able to put their insight, their input into it, and have some insight as to what's going to take place in their backyard. It's only fair to say, it's not enough to say, well, we had one meeting, oh well, they didn't show up. I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying that that's not the case. So slow down.
Okay.
That's all right, and calm down. In regards to Dan, with you having your increase in pay, or if you have health benefits for the rest of your life, and according to you, George, and you're saying about who makes money and who doesn't make money, I don't think it's a personal hit about whether or not you do a good job. It's more about the fact that people are already tightening their belts, and when you hear about an increment here and an increment there, and this actual amount of money that's going to be inclusive of more taxpayer money, it becomes overbearing. People are already having a hard time with just the way things are, period. Trying to figure out how to cut corners, and then you're speaking about, oh, this is going to cost X amount of money, and this is going to cost X amount of money. It's like, where is that money coming from? The MTA is going to be building or renovating the Long Island Railroad. They're talking about putting their police on the site where the taxi stand is going to be at. So they're going to get rid of the taxi stand. They're going to put their people there. They're saying it's not going to cost the taxpayers money, but yet it'll be an increase in taxes. That doesn't make any sense. He didn't have any more answers for that. So again, who was there for that meeting? The chamber. It wasn't held for a community meeting for people to know what's going to take place there. What does that mean regarding our police on one side and the MTA on the other side with the taxi stand? What it's going to do with people who rely on the taxi stand? What's happening with the parking now? Me as a business owner, and not just also on Shore Road also. Signage is great, but people are just going to break signs because they don't listen, they don't look, they don't read, they don't care whether or not they're going in the wrong direction. Something still has to be done, but the parking is a big issue, and Although we may not have gotten a complete repeat of whatever this last parking survey was, there was enough information between that one and all the other ones prior to, as well as the rapport from the people that came to those meetings, giving their input to say something should be starting to be implemented to take care of the people that need to park. As a person who's right there across the street,
Right.
I know my time is up. I'll be real quick this last point. The bank tellers are getting tickets. How can they run out with giving you your transaction to say, let me move my car because it's been 2 hours? It does really affect the morning time, afternoon people, not the restaurants that open at 3 o'clock. They're good. They can park there, and the people that, that patron there can stay there all night. During the day, we have to run out every 2 hours to move our car because we're going to get a ticket. So it's a problem, and we can't keep kicking that can down the road. I hope that you will at least look at the information you have from the previous surveys and the information you've got from the community as well to say we need to do this, and also have those community meetings regarding the infrastructure of the Bayfront as well as what's going to take place with the towers at the Hebrew area. You have to have more than one meeting. If they don't come out to the city council, as we know they
Absolutely.
don't, if they don't come out to the chamber meetings, if they don't come out to the MLK or any other place, we still have to have several different meetings like we did with the parking survey in these different areas to let people know what's taking place.
That's right.
Thank you.
I guarantee you that we are not kicking the can down the road in terms of parking.
Well,
Guarantee
it's
you
been
that.
several surveys though over the years, and I've been a part of a couple of.
Yeah, I know,
quite a few
I
of
know,
them,
but
and nothing's
you-
been done.
You'll be surprised pleasantly.
When? You see?
Okay.
I'm about as great as you, dear. So when?
No, you got less than me. Mike Delury. We're out of contestants. That was a great night. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Please arrive home safely. We'll see you in just about 2 weeks. What is that, July 17th, 14th?